sharing this.
Okay.
Howdy, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on another one of our video visitations. We're coming at you today on a beautiful, bright day. Why, the hint of spring is in the air. I just got back from St. Elizabeth Parish, went over to hear school confessions, and I kept having to dodge the robins. They're chasing each other across the streets and whatnot, and they don't have cars on their mind. They have something else on their mind. So I'm guessing that spring must be imminent. What do you think? The producer, by the way, is not with us today. Instead, we have a guest producer, Karen K. Barbo Miller. Isn't that right?
That's correct.
Okay, all right, so we're happy to have her. And joining me today, you can see, ladies and gentlemen, that I am among the most fortunate of men, for I am surrounded today by a plenitudinous pulchritude. I have the aforementioned Mrs. Miller, and I also have here Julie Okar.
Yes,
And Jan Thackeray.
that's me.
How are you ladies?
We're well, thank you.
Wonderful.
Glad to
Very
be
good.
here.
Are you as good as you look?
You're too
Better.
kind.
Better.
Anyway, they're here to talk to us today about an upcoming medical delegation, I believe, to the sister parish. So I'm going to shut up and let you guys speak
Okay.
to that.
Okay, well, we would like to invite any healthcare professionals to visit our sister parish in, obviously in El Salvador. And the delegation this year will be on September 30th through, I believe, October 7th. And we would love to have you join us. And Julie went last year along with Karen, and she'll tell you a little bit about it.
Okay. So we were fortunate enough to help. Our sister parish has a compound that includes a small clinic, and we had the privilege of being there to help their single provider, Dr. Alejandro, see patients for a variety of needs. Lots of primary care, lots of referrals, lots of children and grandmothers and mothers seeking out affirmation of their children's growth and development, sometimes simple questions about something that they had growing on their finger, or an inability to tolerate milk. And then sometimes we had patients who were struggling with their diabetes or with heart conditions, and many that needed surgical referrals for anomalies.
Yes. I know that, again, the aforementioned Karen K. Barbo Miller asked me to pen a letter to medical folks here in the parish, which I did. And I think you've gotten some response to that at this point.
I have. I've gotten, I think, 3 responders.
Great.
People who weren't actually able to participate, but were interested in supporting in other ways.
I see. Materially in some way of, okay. So what you were looking for today, I guess, is to get medical people seriously thinking about going on the delegation.
Yes, yes.
And as I understand it, we're not just looking for physicians.
Correct. We're looking for physicians, nurse practitioners, PAs, nurses, physical therapists, pharmacists, occupational therapists, anyone with a medical background who can share their insight, observations, and treatment advice.
I would even add maybe medical assistants
Yes,
to that, because
absolutely.
many of them work in doctors' offices now.
Yeah, I confess I don't really know what a medical assistant is, but anyway, I guess they know what they are.
Yes.
So, what about dentists?
Well, we're currently,
Well, they have a dental
That's a-
clinic
yes.
at the clinic, but they're in need of supplies for that. They had some flooding there a couple years ago that really, I think, devastated the clinic. And so I think At this point in time, we probably don't need a dentist to go along, but in the future, we would like that. We can always use dental supplies, though. We try to take toothbrushes and sometimes, usually not toothpaste, but toothbrushes and any kind of stuff. We'll be asking actually closer to the delegation for people to donate the usual vitamins, Benadryl, ibuprofen, Tylenol, that kind of thing. But we'll obviously put that in the bulletin closer to the delegation.
So the the teeth department's kind of out of commission right now, but in the future you hope to have it back up and
Correct.
running.
Correct.
Okay, all right. Well, I just thought I'd ask because I know we have some dentists
Yes.
Right.
in the
right.
parish.
And I think our sponsored children also get a visit. That's part of the sponsorship as they receive dental care. Isn't that right, Karen? Yes. So that is an important part of it. I mean, many people don't know how important
Yeah.
dental care is to your overall health.
I know the parish has some folks in it, maybe even several, who have spent their careers, you know, as physicians, nurses, nurse practitioners, etc., but they've retired out of it. So maybe their credentials are not up to date in the United States. But would they still be eligible to go down and function in those capacities on the medical mission?
We've had retired nurses that I know of in the past that have gone. As far as I'm assuming that their licensing was not current, but they have gone many times. So I would think that's a possibility. That's probably something we would need to talk to that person about a little bit more.
Yeah, and they get down there, it's not like they're going to be doing surgeries and
Right.
such things, right?
Even providers who have retired and have been retired for some time still have the knowledge and the expertise to help consult with patients and provide guidance and recommendations. And sometimes some of those recommendations and that guidance is very, very typical. So it's not something that you need to be particularly licensed or current on. For example, when we deal with reflux, sometimes dealing with esophageal reflux or heartburn is a matter of learning a few special tricks.
Okay. So it's not like they're going to be going down there delivering babies. And
Right.
No, right.
Right.
And Dr. Alejandro, the local doctor, will be there assisting as well. So we can
Okay.
always fall back on his expertise.
Okay.
I think really it's going back to our accompaniment, which I can hardly ever say that word, but that's really what we're there for, is to accompany them on their life journey as they accompany us on ours. And when I was down there and worked in the pediatric clinic, many of the questions were just reassurance that they were doing the right thing and that their child, like as Julie said, was growing appropriately and doing all the right things. So
Yes, ma'am. Well, if our medical people, one or more of them, are interested in hearing more about the opportunity this delegation presents, who should they contact?
I think in the bulletin we have Sherry and Jeff Burrows-Scanlon. They work, well, Sherry's been, both of them have been multiple times. And I think that's the email address that we have in there, but they're always welcome to contact me or Karen or Julie for that matter. So
Okay.
we're always excited to talk about it, about the experience, and share what we know and what we've experienced. So, and if someone maybe would like to go but isn't able to this year, they can kind of give us a heads up for the next delegation, because we are going to try and do one every year. They really miss us when we don't come down there. And we also take donations of, besides the items that I met earlier, Dr. Alejandro is very good at wound care. So we always need wound care supplies, or the funds to help us purchase those. So that's an option as well.
Great. Is there anything else about the delegation that you care to say?
Well, I found that going down as Americans, their system of healthcare there is run by the government, and people can wait years sometimes for a referral. And there's something magical about an American provider coming down and making a referral. So people who ordinarily will wait years for non-emergent care can sometimes be seen in weeks or months. And that's a tremendous gift to be able to give.
Yeah, there was a woman when I was down there for St. Oscar Romero's canonization, and she needed blood pressure medication and was not able to get it for another month or two, which that's obviously something you need to take on a regular basis. We were able to put in a referral, and she was able to get her medication before we left.
Great.
Another thing I wanted to mention too, as I said, Dr. Alejandro is very good at wound care. He had a patient that we sent supplies down for that, had she gone through the national healthcare system, would have just had her limb amputated. So, you know, anytime we can help prevent something like that, it's really valuable.
Because it is a nationalized health system, people have to travel a long way and take a whole day off of work, and that's just cost prohibitive to a lot of those people at our sister parish. And so when we go down there, we have a health week, and they advertise it, and families come in for $1, and we, on an average day, Karen, I think saw 60 people per day, and those were just the accounted for patients. Very often we would have a mother come in and her child was checked in, but she would have questions for us about her care. So we actually saw many more than just those 60. And having it right there in their neighborhood made it accessible for them.
I think in past years we've had up to at least 500 that come in over the week.
Yeah,
My
there was
goodness.
well over 400
Yes.
that you guys saw. It was amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah.
And one of the most popular people down there when we go are the physical therapists.
Absolutely.
Because they, you know, those people our sister parish folks are in need of, you know, all kinds of stretching and advice on things to do to help them just with their physical issues. So
We once had a young girl who could not go to school because she couldn't walk, and one of our physical therapists taught her to use crutches correctly, because there is a right and a wrong way to do that, and she was able to go to school.
Wow.
Yeah, it was very moving.
Yes, these are very encouraging things to hear. All right, well, we hope that this little presentation will inspire some of our folks. And insofar as the delegation isn't until September, maybe we'll get to bring you back.
well, we have some exciting news too between now and then. Padre Luis, the pastor at our sister parish, and Wendy will be visiting us in May. I think the 11th through the 13th or 14th, but on the 13th, we are having a spaghetti dinner, and people are welcome. We really would like for as many people who can to come and actually interact with Padre Luis.
The pastor there at
Correct,
Santa
yes.
Maria Madre
Yes.
de la Pobres. That's the 13th of May.
Yes.
This coming, so that'll be a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
All right, well, in the interest of time, I guess I better buzz through my little notes here. Our final Knights of Columbus Fish Prize this coming Friday, ladies. How
All
about
right.
that? Doggone it.
Awesome.
That first one, they were just teeming in Thai Hall. There were so many hungry fish eaters there. And so the last one for this Lent will be this coming Friday evening from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. We hope everybody will turn out for that. Now, this coming Sunday, of course, is the beginning of Holy Week. In the mind of the Catholic Church, the very holiest time of the year. So we'll begin in the narthex here with the blessing of palms before the Masses. And also, because it is Palm Sunday, we invite folks to dress in red. Do you have anything red to wear, Karen K. Barbeau Miller?
I think I'm gonna have to find
Okay, all right. I sure hope so. All families with young children are invited to our Mothers of Young Children pre-Easter party this very Sunday, April 2nd, from 4 to 5:30 p.m. in good old Ty Hall. It says here they'll have snacks, an Easter story, and a visit from the Easter Bunny, and an egg hunt. Why, you just can't beat that with a stick, can you? You gonna bring your little grandkids? I'll bet that would be a good, you guys don't have any kids to bring, do you? They're living other places, I guess.
Adults.
Yeah.
But I personally like Easter egg hunts, so maybe I'll show up.
Great. I hope you find one. Theater at Viz has canceled its full version of Stations this year. I don't know why, but they did. But they'll be singing through the music this Sunday at 5 p.m. up here, while the Mothers of Young Children are partying downstairs. The public is invited, and any past cast member is encouraged to come and sing. Finally, I want to remind you of the Triduum times. The Triduum, you know, is Holy Thursday, Good Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday. So Holy Thursday Mass is at 7 p.m. Thursday night. Good Friday at our parish, our Passion service is at noon Good Friday. And then Easter Vigil Mass is at 8 p.m. Saturday night. No 4 p.m. Mass, it's at 8 p.m. And then the Easter Sunday Masses are at the usual times, 8 a.m. and 10:30 p.m. Does that sound about right to you? Okay. Well, thanks everybody for joining us today. Thank you,
Thanks, Bobby.
Julie and Jan, very much for coming. And we'll see everybody next time. Until then, goodbye and God bless.